It was the first time their side of the story had been conveyed to the world. Years later, Toynbee described how Turkish people had gathered around the newspaper, their faces flushed with excitement as they read his article. Relying only on information from the West, viewing things always from the Western perspective, does not provide a true picture of the world. There is an African view of the world, a world seen from the Middle East, from Latin America, through the eyes of various ethnic minorities. There's more to international society than just the West. On his homeward journey from Istanbul, Toynbee began to outline what would become his life work, a study of history. From these early thoughts, he later developed the groundbreaking historical perspective that was his great gift to humanity. Shortly after his return to Britain, Toynbee was forced to resign from London University over what was seen as his support for the Turks. The young Toynbee knew it was wrong to stereotype and thus dehumanize people, as the Turks had been. He felt the important thing is to get to know individuals. So he put his conviction into practice, making friends with Turkish people and learning their language. Toynbee wrote, "When one becomes personally acquainted with a fellow human being, of whatever religion, nationality, or race, one cannot fail to recognize that he is human, like oneself." Has the danger of stereotyping people lessened since the days of Dr. Toynbee's youth? I don't believe so.
That gentleman with the beard, he's the one I'm looking for. I want to rewind and I want you to bring him back. Yeah, that's him. All right, now rewind, reset that shot, and we'll do a freeze frame right at the end. Stand by.
In fact, what might be called the tyranny of images, the propagation of stereotypes and ready-made images, may have even increased.
1 billion Muslims worldwide. How many are potential terrorists? Tonight, a special report, The Face of Islam.
Much of the information that floods our world has been selected and tailored to fit preconceived notions and stereotypes. In the extremity of wartime, repeatedly airing scenes of our side coming under attack will incite and enrage viewers.
Orders on the ground in the Middle East.
In contrast, scenes of the hellish misery inflicted on the other country's citizens will rarely be broadcast.
Frustrated local authorities are asking.
It's amazing how the notion of jihad.
The growth and development of mass media has actually increased the danger of proliferating stereotypes and ready-made images.
You don't have to be a history.
Islamic fundamentalism and terror.
We're all exposed to these risks.
At 10 o'clock for our special report.
Do Islamic clerics use the pulpit to stir up hatred?
It's vital that we each ask ourselves some important questions.
With tensions simmering in the region, experts say it's not
Do I accept without question the images shown to me?
What about the mercy killing?
Do I believe unconfirmed reports without first examining them?
The problem here is that there will always be some
Have I unwittingly allowed myself to become prejudiced?
nuclear weapons.
Do I really have a grasp of the facts of the matter?
Say it's time to forgive and forget. In this
Have I confirmed these things for myself? Have I gone to the scene? Have I met the people involved? Have I listened to what they have to say?
Exactly what Islam does.
Am I being swayed by malicious rumors?
Religion and terror.
I believe that this kind of inner dialogue is crucial. That's because people who are aware they may harbor unconscious prejudices can interact with people of other cultures more easily than those who are convinced they have no prejudices. When we stop looking at ourselves, when we no longer question ourselves, we become self-righteous and dogmatic. Our interactions then become a one-way street. We cannot hear others, and real dialogue becomes impossible. The kind of dialogue that can create peace with others must start with an open and earnest inner dialogue. If we think about it, people are not born Turks or Americans. They're not born Palestinians or Jews. These are merely labels. Each of us is born as a precious entity of life, as a human being. Our mothers didn't give birth to us thinking, I'm giving birth to a Japanese, or I'm giving birth to an Arab. Their only thought was, may this child be healthy and grow. Perhaps the clouds and wind high above the blue waters of the Bosphorus are whispering among themselves as they gaze down upon humanity. Wake up. From up here it's clear that the world is one. You are all citizens of the earth. There is no such thing as Americans, no such thing as Iraqis. There's only this boy, this life, called Bob, who happens to live in America. There's only this boy, this life, Mohammed, who happens to live in Iraq. Both are children of the earth. And yet they're divided by the names of their countries and taught to hate each other. Wake up from this foolishness, this arrogance, this cruel habit of passing hatred and resentment on to the next generation. We need to awaken to a common consciousness that we are all inhabitants of Earth. This awareness will not be found in some distant place. It won't be found